Well, I've come out to another one of my favorite forest areas today to work on a picture that I actually found yesterday while I was walking the dogs. And this is an area where we walk the dogs all the time. And I just, for some reason, noticed this one interesting dead leaning tree that I know I've walked past many dozens of times. But for whatever reason, I just noticed it in a new way yesterday and figured out that I could probably make a nice photograph. So I took an iPhone snap or two and it looks pretty good. That was yesterday. So come back out today. I've got nice soft light conditions for the forest here, and I'm going to see if I can find a composition that works for this subject and see what I can come up with. So I want to talk you through the composition here. Obviously this white tree trunk, dead, leaning against other tree is what attracted me to this. So I like the arc and the shape of that curve, but I also like how this one branch is curving back into the picture. And I like this little bit of grasses coming in to kind of make the bottom. And then the one thing I'm not crazy about, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to deal with, is this leaning tree here. Kind of just leads right out of the picture. And what I'm hoping to do is something with right on this edge here through some darkening or maybe a little bit of cloning, I'm not sure, just to kind of minimize that trunk leading out of the picture. Also, I'll probably have a little bit of sky peeking through up here, but those are simple clones to get rid of that. So all in all, I think this is a pretty neat image, and I'm really happy to have found it today. It's amazing to me that I never really saw this tree in this way before, and I think that's possibly because this is a path where we walk the dogs, and we always walk in the same direction. So we pass by this tree, but not looking in this direction. It's coming the other way on this path, and away we go. And I've walked past this thing, a couple times a week for, I don't know how long, a year or more it's been falling like this, and I just have never turned around and looked at it in this way to see this composition. So it was a really happy accident yesterday when, for whatever reason, while I was out here with the dogs, I just decided to stop and turn and look, and this composition just came together on this subject, and I'm really glad I made that decision yesterday to just turn around and look at this thing in a new way. Well, here's another subject that I've been walking by for a long time, and finally decided, well, as long as I was out here photographing the other one, I'd give this one a shot. And so in this case, I have my widest angle lens, a 35, on the Pentax here, and have to get kind of real close and aim down. And what I really like is just that curve of that branch, and of course the fact that it's white and it stands out so well against the rest of the dark forest. So anyway, it's fun to have a place like this where I can walk all the time and look at subjects over time and sort of let it percolate, and I think that's what helps to finally make you decide that the time is right to make a picture when you've had a chance to look at it for a long time, and finally the lighting conditions, or maybe the subject changes a little bit, but finally everything aligns and it's time. You have to do it, and that happens a lot, and it's kind of really fun when that happens in a local forest where you're close to home and you can just come back over and over and finally capture what you have in mind. So the obvious thing about this composition is this curved white broken trunk, which is really kind of a neat shape. And then I like the fact that it's got another branch over here just leaning right out to the edge. And of course I am tipping down and not using the view camera here. You've got some convergence of the trees at the edges, but that's just kind of par for the course. It's not too bad in this case. So anyway, it's just kind of a simple composition, not a lot to it, just kind of a leading line going in here and taking you through the picture. But I like just the feeling of decay and the things returning to the earth. And so hopefully this one is telling a little bit of a story, and I'm glad I was finally able to capture this one. If you enjoy photographing these kinds of tree and forest subjects like I've worked on today, I'd like you to take a look at my new ebook. It's called Seeing the Forest Through the Trees, and it's all about photographing tree and forest subjects just like this. It's 66 pages, over 100 of my images from all across the country, concentrating on forest subjects. I discuss types of light, types of atmosphere, technical considerations, aesthetic considerations, locations, just everything, and my approach to tree and forest subjects for 3 decades now. So please head on over to my website, scottwaltonphotographs.com. I'll have a link below in the description that'll take you right to that ebook, but you can download it, and it works great on a computer or your tablet. So thanks so much for checking that out. Well, that's it for today's video. And on this topic of seeing something from a different perspective, oftentimes when we're out in the wilderness, we do these loop hikes where we just go in the same direction all the way and never come back past where we've been in a different direction. And the idea there, of course, is that you're seeing fresh scenery all the time and not covering old ground. But honestly, I think for landscape photography, out and back hikes might be more productive because it lets you see that same scenery but from a different direction. And that's certainly what happened to me today, and so I think it was really productive. Well, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, I really appreciate that. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.